What is up, guys? Back in today with another reaction to Parasyte, this time with episodes 13 and 14. Over the halfway point now, which seems quite crazy. I've absolutely, feels like I've blasted through this, and as you guys know, absolutely loving it. Last week's episodes, or a couple of days ago, I'm not sure about the upload schedule for me, well, absolutely fantastic. Massive shame, I forget the girl's name, but massive shame that she died. I do kind of wonder if all the mystery with her kind of ability to sense the parasites will kind of get expanded upon. I do imagine it will. I can't really imagine that they're just going to leave that to just like a bit of clairvoyance for her. There's got to be something a little bit more there, I do think, but who knows really. But yeah, massive shame that she did die. We did see a bunch of the parasites, especially one political candidate get put into power as a mayor in this city, I believe, and again he's got a whole team of parasites behind him, so yeah, things are getting quite scary with the whole kind of system of these parasites, isn't it, and how they're going about things. So very much looking forward to picking back up on that today. Do let me know what you guys think about this episode though down in the comment section. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you guys do enjoy it, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date. Get right into the episode. Well, you seem awfully excited about that. Strange behaviour from this girl, honestly. Who the hell goes up to someone who just witnessed a murder all excited like that? I mean, again, we know for Shinichi, I mean, she's a lovely girl, but as we know with him at the minute, his emotions are kind of leaving him, so it wouldn't affect him nearly as much as it would a normal person. If you go up and do that to a normal person, you can understand if they like throw a fit or something. Guys, I might have toothpaste around my mouth. Really not. I should really look at myself before I before I start recording. Sometimes I look back over here, so oh, you've got the booger hanging out your nose. Not very often, that one, luckily. I've only spotted that once, but yeah, sometimes oh, still got toothpaste around my mouth. So who was that guy? I mean, we can assume he's not a parasite. It's also good news for Shinichi that he's already kind of been viewed by the government, who I assume those people are that we saw at the funeral last week. And they already tested him with the hair stuff. Again, I'm almost surprised that his hair didn't disintegrate like a parasite's would. I mean, I guess it makes sense. He is still human, but he is much more parasite than he initially was. So that was a bit surprising to me, actually. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if that does perhaps change. And like I said, I'm still holding out that his hair might still disintegrate. I'm watching a lot of good horror this year. It's been a good year for horror, to be honest. A couple weeks ago I watched Alien Romulus, which was great. Literally last night just watched Oddity, which I thought was fantastic. One of my favourites of this year, actually. I really enjoyed that. Watched Longlegs last week as well, which was alright. Definitely overrated. It was good, but it was definitely overrated. Hello, sadness. Sorry guys, I do just need to pause here because we're in some deep conversation and I need to turn the sound back on. Don't want to miss out on any of this. You guys know I'm really excited to hear more about these kind of government things. So these are the parasites. Here's the big dog. That is the thing, isn't it? Oh, there's Ryoko. So she is working with them as well. Okay. I did kind of assume. And has she got a belly on her still, or did she get rid of the human toxin? Oh yeah, sorry to pause again. I did just I want to look back at her belly, but and it looks like she has gotten rid of it. Yeah, she's got a straight belly now. So yeah, I imagine she killed the baby. Yeah, understandable. Understandable for a parasite. But I did just want to point out that topic of him mentioning that they gave the humans yet another what would you call it, specimen. I imagine they learn about the whole hair trick because they had a specimen, so makes sense that the more the humans, it's like with anything with humans, the more we researched it, the more money and resources we put into it, the more we find out about it, the more we understand it, and the more we can work out how to kill it, or yeah, that's like the I've always admired that in a strange sense about humans, that we can, like, when we really put so much into it, we really can get results. It's a shame with things like cancer where we haven't seen like a proper like cure or whatever, but I feel like eventually, again, so much work and so much commitment is getting put into that area that eventually you do hope that will also be fixed. But you see so many things similar to like cancer and such getting worked on that have been cured. So something amazing about humans. Like this is essentially similar to that. It's like curing a cancer in a sense with these parasites, isn't it? So it makes sense that they wouldn't want any more of their own kind to get caught. It would just lead to their downfall, I believe, eventually. I also do feel in that same topic, these parasites probably got to start moving fast because that is inevitable. I do feel, especially when there are rogue parasites. But it was also interesting seeing how they referred to these parasites, and they said they were like animals, and yeah, these guys are definitely quite a bit more kin to normal people, aren't they? And they start calling their own kind ferocious and animals and stuff like that. It's quite an interesting development, that, isn't it? That's what everyone seems to think, but I agree with Ryoko. I do feel like that might be the desired future for these parasites. Oh, so she actually gave birth to it. Wow. What is this baby gonna be like? How red it is. Get out of there, Nanny. What the fuck was that? Trained it well. Can't train a baby. Well, you can. That's stupid to say you can't train a baby. Every baby literally gets trained to walk and so on. But you can't train a baby like this. You can't just. It's like a dog, if you know what I'm saying. When dog trainers like give keywords or key sounds, you see it quite a lot in the. Sorry, I keep pausing. I like to pause a lot during the show. If you guys don't like it, obviously skip ahead. Yeah, it's like dog trainers and like the police and stuff, where they say like a certain word or a sound, and then they attack or they sit back and relax, and you train it like a dog. But how? Like human babies aren't. You can't just Imagine going out in the real world and telling a baby just to quiet when it's crying. 99.9% of the time, it's not working. So it goes, yeah. That then leads me to believe that there's something, as much as it is a human baby, there is something more going on with this human baby. I don't believe it's infected unless it's been infected with a separate parasite. Only one parasite can take over one human body, and Ryoko's parasite is evidently still in her body. So it's not like it's been taken over by a parasite, but maybe like the biology of the baby is like mixed in with parasite cells and stuff. I kind of, as you guys saw last week, I kind of maybe theorized that the girl who died last week might have been a baby born from a situation as well. Again, probably not right because we don't know when these parasites came to be and whatever. So that's probably not the case, but maybe it is something similar where they could gain assets of parasites and maybe their logistic thinking and stuff like that. Maybe their power to again sense things, take down traits like is normal for humans. You take down traits from both your parents, and has taken down traits from her and the parasite and become something more than human, but not a parasite. I don't know, again, it's just super interesting to think about, isn't it? Again, I'm almost quite surprised. Well, I'm not surprised she kept it, but I would be surprised if any other parasite kept their baby after hearing that it's a human toxin. You know what I'm saying? But she's definitely a scientist type Ryoko, isn't she? She definitely loves figuring things out and experimenting. She is definitely one of the most fascinating characters in this series. That is the thing as well. At this point, oh, she's the one investigating him. Yeah, it is, considering how many of these events he's been at. I do love Ryoko. I don't think that's her name anymore, but I'm going to keep calling her that. Is he a normal high school boy? People are very much catching on, aren't they? There wasn't, but I think there should have been, honestly. I liked her a lot. Amazing, isn't it? That she kissed him and then she acts like this again. It's like if he was a normal guy and he was just acting a bit weird, I won't pause. That would be like, that would fuck with my head so much. No. Which is the strange thing. Yes. Indeed. You know what? I feel like she should meet him again. I would like to see that. Oh, look at that. It's actually got its own little hand. Not sure if I've seen that before. He is. Yeah, the fact that you find him normal means that he is getting more like you. Oh, wow, I wonder how his father is doing now, by the way. No, it looks good. It looks good. We don't see him too much, do we? Yeah, this certainly is very suspect behaviour. I looks happy about that. Guy's already committed like 2 crimes though. He's now going to be entering a crime scene in a minute, and he's literally stalking someone. I do find that quite funny about like these PIs. They actually commit more crimes or doing their job than it's likely the person they're following does. Not really. Oh. Yeah, holy shit, this is like one of the first times we're seeing the Miggy take control. I don't think it's too look at him. I don't think it's too bad that this guy. Oh shit. Yeah. We forgot he could do this. I don't think it's too bad if this guy knows, as long as we take his evidence. Good. I love the way he says that. As we. But we've got the camera. That's the point, bro. I mean, we're trying to mourn a death. It's like, oh my god, and like we're obviously trying to stop people dying. Like even logistically for you, Miggy, you should not want to kill this guy because how many people have died within his vicinity? A lot, and this is another one, and it just increases the suspicion, increasing the likelihood of people finding out, and increasing the likelihood of you getting found out. And then you got to kill them as well, and then more people find out, you got to kill them as well, and it's just you're fucked, Miggy. So even logistically, I think he should stop doing this. I understand where he's coming from, but again, who's going to believe? Who's going to believe this guy? I mean, it's more believable than ever now because of like the news and stuff and many events happening with the parasites. But we can prove he's not a parasite from the hair test. Maybe they might. That's the thing, isn't it? I'm thinking now about the fact that if they can prove you as a parasite without the hair test, that might totally fuck up that whole hair test thing, which would be bad, I think, because it is a really good way of telling who is a parasite. But because one doesn't appeal to that rule, that means you've kind of got to scrap the whole thing, unfortunately, because many others could be out there not abiding by that rule of the hair as well. Although, again, I think we know that is the case. But as I've been thinking this whole time as well, I do feel like the parasites will eventually find a way around it. Like I mentioned last week, again, as strange as it sounds, maybe they pretend to be people without hair. I can't remember what the condition's called, but the people that don't have any hair on their body whatsoever. Like that's one potential workaround. I imagine there are workarounds for it. Skeleton, huh? And you know what's good as well? If he does tell Ryoko, maybe Ryoko might just kill him. Well, I say that's good. That's obviously bad, but that's good for Miggy. Well, I can't imagine he's going to be looking at us now, surely. I think it'd be stupid if he does. Yep, just run straight past it. Okay, we'll take you up on that. We'll take you up on that. Oh dear.
ただでは済まんのだ。
どうすればいいんだ。いっそのこと、ミギーが眠っている今のうちにこの腕を切り落とせば。できるわけないよ。誰なんだ。誰が俺たちを。まさか今日も、今この瞬間も見張っているのか。
Again, I kind of doubt it. Oh, he is. And he's sweated big time. What an idiot. Good hiding spot as well, by the way. He's not even behind the pole, he's just next to it. Just skulking. Surely that's stupid behaviour, right? Why would anyone do something, and this may sound silly, but why would anyone do something where you have a chance of dying as much as he does right now? I do just want to bring that up as well, just before we finish off. Another pause, apologies, but I do find that interesting as well. The whole with his nerves and emotions and stuff like that. You have these signals in your brain. Again, I don't fully understand all this, but you have like these emotions and such in your brain of panic and such, and we saw him there panic, but it's yeah, it's quite interesting because of the parasite having control. I think that might be like I question that myself, like, oh, how is it that he can calm down so much when the parasite isn't in his brain? It's probably because the body has the reaction to the thoughts of like panic and such, like sweat, to have your hair stand on end, to shake and be nervous and so on. And I imagine it's the body that just sets every kind of chemical back to absolutely normal and such. But yeah, again, on the point of this fucking idiot PI, why? Again, it almost sounds silly because obviously people go to wars and work in armies and such, and they obviously risk their lives every day. But in this instance, it's like, why would he risk his life when he's got a big chance of getting killed by Shinichi? Why would he risk his life for something so small? It's yeah, just stupidity, to be honest, isn't it? I think if you work in that job, you've really got to know when and when not to kind of like push buttons and get involved with certain people and such. You've got to pick your jobs well. I think a lot of the time with jobs like that, I think I've seen a few documentaries and stuff on it. Most of the time, it is just husbands and wives just wondering if their partner's been cheating. That is the most common job, I believe, in that sector. Oh, I know that. Oh, I mean, she died, so yes.
そんなことはないよ。
泉くんって強い。ほんと強いと思う。それなのに、とても見ていられないって思う時があるんだ。何かを必死になって力でねじ伏せようとしている。ねえ、何があったの？
That's a good way of putting it.
話してごらんよ。
ない。別に何もない。
何もないって言われても信じられないよ。こんなんじゃもう普通に話なんてできない。
そんなこと。
What was Miggy just doing there?
お前にまでそんなこと言われたら、俺は話すよ。話すから。さとみ、俺の体には。
Jesus. I think we know what would happen if he did tell her.
私ってまるで信用ないんだ。
Jesus.
信じてもらえないんじゃしょうがないな。
泉くんの目ってなんだか乾いてる。
Perceptive. Okay. Pretty interesting episode today. Pretty interesting. Not too much in the kind of development side of things, very much more character based this episode with Murano and Shinichi, wasn't it? Especially with Shinichi. And it must be really, like, you've got to imagine from his point of view, it must be maddening to want to feel something that you should feel. Again, I've mentioned this in a few videos. I relate to this, the fact that you should feel a certain way, but you don't. But for him, it must be even like, because he doesn't even have like that irrational emotion to stuff. He just, it's like an uncontrollable control of his emotions. That must be maddening. Just to, I want to be angry. I want to be sad. And just nothing. You just can't. I'm oversimplifying that massively, but yeah, the control factor. I'm a person that does like to be in control. I'd absolutely hate to not be able to. It seems like he's controlling his emotions, but he's not. It's not controlling his emotions, really, is it? He's not. The fact is he's not controlling his emotions, which makes him making him have less emotions to things, which is seen as objectively better. But yeah, it's not really. If you're actually controlling your emotions, you would still have emotions, but you just again learn to deal with them better. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Again, decent episode today. Again, lots of interesting little character bits, lots of very interesting things at the start. I think that was probably my favourite segment of this episode, to be honest with you guys. These first 5 minutes or so, looking at the baby, Reko's baby, seeing what was going on with that. Little meeting from the Parasytes here, which was interesting. Again, I'm super excited to hopefully see more of these meetings and such. But again, some pretty interesting character work with Shinichi and Murano, and the idiot PI here. Didn't care too much for that kind of segment, honestly. But that's kind of leading to something, isn't it? That's not like, it's not all said and done with the PI stuff. It is very much like a small part of Ryoko's plan, of whatever she's planning. But again, I'm just looking forward to seeing her interact with Shinichi more and seeing more of Ryoko's story. As I said earlier, she's one of my favourite characters in this show. But yeah, decent stuff. We'll get straight into episode 14. Do let me know what you guys thought of this one though down in the comment section. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you guys did like, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date. And let's get into episode 14.
泉くんの目ってなんだか乾いてる。
Sayonara. Sayonara. Not something you hear too often in Japanese gunning, which again maybe sounds quite stupid. But you usually only hear that when it is like a long goodbye or a goodbye forever. It's usually See, like, see you later or something like that. That might sound like a pretty stupid point, but especially in anime, it's actually, again, quite rare you hear a sayonara, unless it is, again, just like a farewell forever or something like that. No, I always thought sayonara was Italian. Before, as a kid and stuff, I thought it sounded quite Italian. Sayonara. And I actually did give the full version of the song a listen to again, and I did realise what it is I don't like about it. It's the whole second half of the song I don't like. So I only have the anime opening on my playlist. If the whole song was like this, it'd be a banger. But yeah, I just don't especially like the second half of it. It goes a little bit off the walls, in my opinion. The selfish gene.
こっちに気づかれたのに同じ人物が動いてるってことはつまり敵は案外小規模なのかもしれん。どうせならこの調査に関係しているものすべてを突き止めて。皆殺しか？違う。人間を殺すということに君がいかに拒絶反応を起こすかが改めてよく分かった。
So what would you do?
協力し合わなきゃいかん。よく言うよ。だから殺すというのはとりあえず置いといてだな。奴のことを逆に探るんだ。どうやって味方を呼んで協力してもらう。
And who would that be?
この世界のどこにそんな人が。
Oh, Chin guy. Oh, of course. Hey, let's go. I do. Yes, I like this. Although I don't like the fact that he's getting involved in trouble. And I think you can I think you can much easier get away with a strange mouth than a strange hand. Like in just in terms of looks, obviously not like that, but like when it does do the big mouth thing. Some people just have massive mouths. Many people have little tentacoid arms, tentacloid, whatever you'd call it. What the fuck, bro? That is horrible behavior. It was. Joe. Oh, Joe. Nah, fuck off, Maggie. Joe. Okay, I like that. A psychological doctor. Yes. Oh, why pursue this, bro? I mean, just because he's in this business, it does make sense he would have quite an inquisitive brain, but like I said, I feel like in this business, you also need to know when to stop. Fuck's sake, man. You can't be talking like this in Japanese shops. Just sniggle at him. I don't know what sniggle means, by the way. She just laughed at him. Pathetic. What she thought there, I can imagine. But yeah, I think I mentioned this before as well. In like Japanese restaurants and stuff, it's always so quiet. I think it's rude to be super loud and talkative and such. So I feel like if you were to have a conversation in any Japanese restaurant, everybody in the restaurant would be listening to you. And we see that here, evidently. I mean, he's literally shouting, so very much so. But even if you talk at like a half normal tone, I feel like everybody in the shop can hear you talk. But yeah, I love this. Just giggles at him. You fucking fool. I like that. But why? Like, why would she do that? I just smell her. What the fuck? Sorry, what the hell is going on here? Oh, my eyes are going as well. I thought that was maybe this guy sniffing her. For some reason, maybe she smelt disgusting or something. Evidently not. That was her just giggling a little bit again. Probably. What horrible sight that guy just walked into. But why is she, what's going on with her? Why is this weird behaviour? I'm also thinking, like, surely there must be some... Do you reckon there is a change in her nature having a baby? I feel like every animal, even animals that seemingly have no emotion, have like motherly instincts and such. So I do wonder if that's affecting her. Hormones and such, perhaps. So again, she can control those, so maybe not so much, but... This is some strange behaviour, this, isn't it? Giggling down the street. Again, when have you ever seen a parasite giggle? I'm assuming that's what this is. It sounds like little giggles. Strange behaviour, that. Strange behaviour, that. Yeah. Sorry about that. That's just rather odd. From Ryoko-san. Hoping we're in our apartment right now. Yeah. Yeah, it is her laughing. Look, her face looks totally unchanged. Strange! Why is that? But why are you laughing? Why do parasites find anything funny? How is it that parasites find anything funny? Huh. Odd behaviour. And he's doing this shit, he's got a daughter, and telling me he's risking his life like this.
夜中にうなされたり、大声出したり、その怪我だって。
別に問題ない。
ねえ、今度の仕事って本当にただの素行調査？
何よ、なんだっての。
あんまし分不相応なことに首突っ込んだってさ。
Exactly.
ことにならないってこと。
Take your wife's advice.
結局飲むんじゃねえか。
やばい仕事なら警察ってものがあるんだし、あんた小物なんだから、小物は小物なりにこじんまりとね。
小物は小物なりにね。
そう、こじんまりと。
そういうこと亭主に言うかね。
Listen to her.
今に見てやがれ。世間をあっと言わせてやる。
Fuck's sake. Totally the wrong conclusion to come to, bro. But understandable. I think everyone. Yeah, understandable, isn't it?
会話まではできないけど、両者の間でサインを決めておけば簡単なやり取りは可能らしい。
新一、見つけたってさ。
But you're in the wrong area for that kind of stuff. Like the criminal sector and stuff like that is just way too dangerous to be so ambitious.
よかった。もう現れないこと。声を立てないでください。乗ってください。
仲間、俺をどうするつもりだ。
危害を加えるつもりはありません。とりあえず話のしやすい場所に行きます。何もそんなに怖がらなくたって。
I mean, obviously you wouldn't sympathize is the wrong word, but I guess he wouldn't relate to him or share the same feelings the way he is right now, Shinichi. But yes, he would be that terrified. His chin is just getting more and more strange during this whole mission, isn't it? It was strange when he got in the car, but what the hell is that? I guess that's pretty cool, actually, though, having a parasite in your chin. You could become like a model, like a sculptured chin, a beautiful jawline. Oh, they got him crying again. How has he ended up crying? Maybe because of the girl that died, actually.
俺たちのこと黙っていてほしいんです。お願いします。
でも君の話だとまだ他にも化け物がいるわけだろ。そいつらをほっといていいのか。もし本当に人類のためを思うなら君は名乗り出るべきなんだ。たとえ実験材料にされるとしても、たとえ自分を犠牲にしても人類全体のことを考える。
I mean, it makes a decent enough point here, but no.
自己犠牲が聞いて呆れるぜ。よく聞け。お前に生きる権利があるというなら、我々にもその権利がある。もっとも権利なんて発想自体、人間特有のものだろうがね。ともかく我々は生き抜くためならどんなことでもやる。こいつが実験材料として名乗り出るなど許すことはできん。それでお前が敵になるというなら、いつでも殺してやる。こいつをよく見てみろ。まだ10代の高校生だ。お前から見たってまだ子供だろ。それが母親を殺され、死体の山をまたいで散々な目にあって、それでもけなげに頑張ってるんだ。かわいそうだとは思わないか。自分と比べてみてどうだ。お前なら耐えられるか。
Interesting, Miggy. Interesting. Nah, he's not. Is he though? Interesting. But that's the thing. You say he's saying that to achieve a certain outcome, and that could very well be the case. But he wouldn't be saying that if he didn't understand those circumstances and how that affects someone. And just because he knows, even if he did say it just to affect this guy, he knows how that would make someone feel, and has used it here. So that does still show that Miggy's changed, even if he was just using it. If he was being genuine, or even if he was just using those words, I still feel, again, just using those words, you've got to understand that, and that shows change in Miggy as well, doesn't it? Interesting. I think that was a very good scene to show that, to be honest with you. This right here. But yeah, this PI is very lucky he isn't dead, isn't he? Very lucky. 20. But yeah, just on the case of being like a lab rat, I mean, it sounds like you'd be a hero and such, but no one wants to be a fucking lab rat, do they? It's unethical. Like, cause I couldn't think of any worse thing from all like the movies and stuff I've seen. I couldn't think of any worse thing than to be cooped up as a lab rat for your whole life. I think it's a fate worse than death. Yeah, yeah. This guy's in a tight spot right now, isn't he? He's fucked in every which direction. The direction he thought the most danger was coming from is actually perhaps the least. Yes, here we go. Here we go. Let's go. She's taken a course. She brings the baby? Brings the baby? Oh man. Fuck, that pissed me off. I mean, it's not a normal baby, I guess, and she can control it, but if in the real world someone brought their baby to the lecture and it started crying, again, it sounds rather selfish, but at that point you really are like, you're these girls aren't even paying attention right now. So that's one thing, distracting. But yeah, that's the major thing, you're distracting. If your baby's crying during a lecture like this, that would really piss everybody off. I mean, I'm thinking about like the circumstance in where a woman has a baby and they can't get anyone to look after it and they've got to bring it, and yeah, I mean, it sounds really harsh to say that that'd be really annoying for everyone, but it would be really annoying for everyone. And quite selfish, even if it is for a baby. I feel like it's selfish behaviour, but mothers have to be selfish and such, don't they? But yeah, I guess again, it's lucky she's got control over it. Crazy though, right? Crazy that she's bringing a baby into a place like this. I would definitely be. I don't know if I'd like say suspect or anything over her, but I'd definitely be like, why is this woman bringing her baby to my college? And yeah, I mean, we saw earlier she can get a. That's another point. Like, why would Ryoko? It's not like she has to either. We saw her hire a nanny earlier on, so it's like, is that? I mentioned this earlier on in the series, didn't I? Is this like a hostage, a human hostage she has? Safety mechanism.
利他行動が報告されております。例えば、ミツバチは外敵が現れます。
So they're queen.
一匹一匹がその身を犠牲にしてまで巣を守ろうとします。これは本能かもしれませんが、種を守るためではないらしい。そう言わしめる代表的な事例が子殺しであります。なぜ同種の子供を殺してしまうのか。
So the other ones can prosper.
言われているのが利己的遺伝子説であります。つまりあらゆる動物の肉体は遺伝子の操り人形である。種ではなく自分、さらに自分の遺伝子を受け継ぐ子供たちこそ大事なのだというこの説を広げていくと、あらゆる利他行動、すなわち群れの仲間に対する思いやりや家族愛、夫婦愛、ひいては母性愛すら説明がついてしまいます。つまり思いやりや愛などというものは存在せず、愛のように思えるすべての行為は遺伝子がよりよく受け継がれるための行為に過ぎないというわけです。もちろんこの説にも疑問点はあります。それは自分の遺伝子と全く関わりのない他者を助ける、それどころか種すら違う相手を
True, true. That is usually for survival though, isn't it? In terms of animals.
人間の意識そのものがこの説に当てはまりきるのかということ。してみると、人間が行っている環境保護や自然保護活動など、利他なのか利己なのか考えてみるのも面白いかもしれませんね。
そろそろ
Interesting.
あんな持ち方があるのさあ。
She holding it by the fucking the wet rag. Oh, there you go. There you go. Well done.
元気そうね。
Why is she holding it like that now? Is that what the that what we just saw was about? she's holding it like that when she was essentially like by herself in front of everyone, that she didn't give a fuck. But to show Shinichi that she kind of perhaps does have that compassion and love for the baby, she's now holding it like an actual baby and cradling it, just to give off that perception. I don't know, I do almost feel like with what we just heard there, again with the whole maternal instinct and such, maybe I kind of, and just the way Ryoko is, she's very different from a lot of parasites. I could almost see her maybe actually being, I can't remember that word for it, atrium or whatever the fuck it said, atriism, I don't know. No fucking idea. It's well above my intellect level. I feel like she actually might be becoming kind of less selfish in that manner. Again, she wants what's best for the parasites in whole, experimenting. Again, it might just be for self-preservation, as the guy from the lecture just said. It's hard to tell between what's selfish and what's not. But she wants, again, what's best for the parasites in terms of maybe parasites and humans combining. She's open to many possibilities and experiments in that nature. She's not just, again, about her survival and her kind of DNA and such. She is seemingly a lot less selfish. The fact that again, it was really creepy earlier, but we did see her laughing, which is very unusual behavior for a parasite. Like, when have we ever seen a parasite laugh? No, we haven't. We haven't seen a single parasite show. I mean, Miggy's showing more emotion and such for sure, but we definitely, again, we haven't seen as much as a laugh out of a parasite at all. So the signs are there that she is different for sure, aren't they? But again, maybe it is just with this very much leads me back to maybe she is actually just being performative here. And again, the way she's holding the baby compared to earlier, this very much seems like she is trying to portray something different from how she was holding it earlier. I don't know. That was really interesting though. That was a really interesting topic. And I think I mentioned this before as well. You do see in like the animal kingdom, animals working together and such that seemingly has no benefit for one animal, but they help each other out and such. And yeah, very interested to see where this is going. Oh shit.
よく来てくれたわ。元気そうね。
なんだってこんなところに。
ここを選んだのは他の仲間がめったにいないから。それにちょっと聞きたい講義もあったし。本当だ。前とだいぶ違ってる。
どういう混じり方をした？何があったの？自然にそうなったとも思えないけど。
その子供はお前のか？
そう、私のよ。今のところはまだ何も手をつけてないけど。
手をつける。
Yet.
さん、ミギーだったわね。また情報を交換しない？お互いのために。
まず確認をしておくが、探偵を雇ったのはお前だな。お前自身にとってもかなり危険なことだとは思わなかったのか？
私はどうとでもなる。いざとなればまた別人になれば済むことだし。
広川という名の市長を知っているな。化け物を市長にして何を企んでいる？
私もよくは知らないわ。ただ、私たちも成長している。闇雲に人間を食い殺すことが安全な道じゃないことに気づいている。これからは人間たちとの共存を考えていかなければならない。
共存か。島田秀夫も同じことを言っていたが、結局。
例えば、人間と家畜はある意味で共存していると言えない？もちろん対等ではないわ。
So what are you saying? Humans are going to become the pigs.
人間たち自身がもっと雄大な言い方をしてるじゃない。地球の生物全体が共存していかねばならない。
お前の言うことはそれなりに正しいのかもしれないけど、俺にはどうしてもお前らを許せない理由がある。
何があったの？どう見ても今の君は普通の人間とは思えない。なんと言ったらいいか。
You'd be right.
母と子。母親が行方不明だそうだな。殺されたのか。
新一、落ち着け。
そうか、仲間たちに食われたか。ほう、すごい。空気まで震えているようだ。
殺せ。
今戦ったら負けそうだ。この子供を盾に使うしかないな。
Yep.
何してるの？
人間は子供の方が勘がいいようだな。
That's like a mute button, isn't it? Fucking hell. Don't matter, you're... And the baby just shuts up. That's quite hilarious, that though, isn't it? So yeah, there's another scene of her maniacally laughing here, which is like, what does she find so funny about this? Creepy, isn't it? I really do love like the fact that the facial expressions are fantastic, aren't they? They're fantastic in terms of they're like slightly correct but not like fully correct, and it must be so hard to pull that off, attempting to make a facial expression that you're trying to go for, in this case like maniacal evil, like laughter, but you don't want it to be perfect because they're not, she hasn't got it 100%. They're not perfect replications of like human emotion and such, but it's just enough to show us that is the case, but also to be really creepy because you know it's like forced. It's hard to word it, but I think they do a really fucking good job of that. Yeah, I called this from early, didn't I? The fact that she'd be using this as a shield. It's just natural for these parasites. They're what they are in a lot of senses, funnily. And yeah, that is just crazy. You just say shut up and it just boop, just like that. 人間ども。
どうしたんだ新一、なんで落ち着かない？
許せないんだよ、あいつだけは。
この子供を盾に使うしかないな。今のところはまだ何も手をつけてない。
Oh crap! This is. Oh no. It kind of sounded like the PI's wife. My bad. The left hand, eh? That's interesting. Well, I imagine she says that because most people are right-handed. It better not be the. I wonder what would. That's really annoying, actually. I kind of want to see her interact with the right hand. See what that would have told her. Oh yes. Truly. Wow. He can't. Looks so happy about that. I killed her. And he's now laughing like Ryoko did a little bit there, a little bit sinisterly. Okay, really awesome second episode here. Bloody hell. And now you guys know why I wanted Ryoko and Shinichi to meet again. I just always like, yeah. The two, obviously, Shinichi's the main character, of course, going to be one of the best characters in the show, but having two of the best characters in the show interact, it's always going to be like fireworks and fantastic, isn't it? But honestly, what stood out to me a hell of a lot was that lecture. I thought that was really interesting. And the fact that Ryoko specifically wanted to be at this lecture as well was quite interesting. I guess this isn't her just like, I guess she isn't just here all the time. She just wanted to go for this one specific lecture about the selfish gene and such. Interesting. Again, I'm still not really sure what to make of it. I don't know why. I do just feel like she isn't as selfish as the others, but maybe I'm wrong. Hey, not too much given away. Something wicked this way comes. That's an interesting way of wording that. Something wicked this way comes. How do you interpret that? Something wicked. This way comes something wicked. Almost like Yoda, isn't it? So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Again, a fantastic second episode here. Enjoyed this one a lot. I enjoyed the first episode as well, but I enjoyed this one a hell of a lot. We've got to see Joe. New name, Joe. Love to see that. Again, hopefully we might, well, again, for safety reasons, hopefully we don't see too much more of him, but for enjoyment reasons, I hope we see more of him in the future. I do like that guy. Yeah, disturbing scene right here. But again, interesting developments in terms of like the laughter, which, yeah, it's just like, she's enjoying laughing now, isn't she? I guess she's now found out the enjoyment of amusement and laughing and having fun, I guess. Is that what this is? Honestly, again, like I said, I feel like it's awesome the way that they draw these just to make it look so creepy, and to make it really look like they are trying to pull these faces off. I think like this scene was especially good at that. Her in the mirror doing these faces. But yeah, awesome, awesome second half here. Especially, I love that little lecture. This was almost in that same nature, I felt like, looks wise, again, just like forcing the smile and this look. Yeah, a lot to take away from this episode. Do let me know what you guys thought about this one though down in the comment section. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you guys did enjoy it, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date though. And I'll see you guys next time with episodes 15 and 16.